Hey everyone, I know I'm pretty late to do this because the game's beta came out a little while back and you've been seeing all sorts of gaming channels reviewing this game. The reason I am late is because I haven't been on YouTube a lot, but I've actually had this game downloaded for a little bit, so I can tell you my thoughts on it. So I got some gameplay in the background just to show an example, but this is Enlisted, which is a new game by the same developers who created the game War Thunder, which... Actually, because of this game, I'm downloading it, but I have yet to play War Thunder. I know I've heard that it's really good, but this is, I think, one of their first takes at a first-person shooter. And let me tell you, it is actually really, really good. I was surprised because we haven't had a lot of overly historical World War II games lately, because people prefer making it faster paced or politically correct versus making it historical, and they make a World War II game for some reason. And in my opinion, that's pretty dumb, pretty lame. But this game actually took a different idea for that. They made it very, very historical, not like how Battlefield 1 historical, but like you can only use guns used by specific factions. Like as you see here, I'm using a grease gun. It's the Americans, but you can't use that as the Germans or the Russians unless you were to pick it up off a body, in which case, no, there's no way you can use it as the Russians. So I think that's really a really interesting detail, how devoted they are to making it a historical game. So the environment, as far as historicality, is really good and solid. You really mostly use bolt-action rifles like they did in real life, So yeah, it's a really solid on how they made it historical. Also moving on to realism, very realistic. As you can see here, it's a one-hit game. Like if I were to hit somebody in the chest, they're down. Of course, they can medkit themselves, so you might want to double tap whenever you take somebody out. But I mean, as far as that goes, one-hit kills usually with a standard rifle. Maybe if you get a machine gun, it'll take a bit longer, but you die quick. You die really quick. So it's sort of like a World War II simulator game in a way. That's what they're trying to go for, is as realistic as possible. As far as the mechanics, the gunplay is not as good as, say, Battlefield or Call of Duty, but I still have a lot of fun playing it, and I can get some pretty fun kill streaks going on, because as you can see, it's a bit slow, a little bit clunky, but as the updates come along, it's getting a bit smoother to play, and I'm hoping that by the time this game has been around for a few years, it'll be really smooth and competing with other games. Now, it's already beaten Battlefield 5 for me simply because they tried to be historical in the least. It's already beaten Battlefield 5 on historicality, and Call of Duty World War II. I would hope that this game would eventually have a story campaign, but I doubt it ever will. It just doesn't seem like something that they would do. It's got quite a few maps. It's got two more So right now we have the Soviet campaign, right, where you get to play as the Russians and the Germans and such. And then we also have the Normandy campaign with the Americans and the Germans. And then right now, which is in progress, is the Battle of Berlin campaign. And then we're going to get some other one. It's like Tsushima or something like that. But as you can see, they're promising a lot of content. And it's only like 18 gigabytes to download. It is really small for a modern game. So as far as the mechanics and how smooth it is, it's good. I give it like 3.5 stars. It's not like the greatest ever. The gunplay, but it's fun. It's a really fun game. It's a really well done, fun game. And another thing, accessibility. Okay, so as you can see, it looks really, really good. Like, it's a really good looking game. Everything looks really sleek. But the fact is, it's not available on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, which is kind of sad to me, because it seems like an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 could pull graphics like this. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's some tech stuff, or maybe it would have just been too expensive for them to pull that off. But it is only available on the next-gen consoles. So if you do not have a next-gen console or a PC, sadly, you will not be able to play this game. It's kind of sad because, like, I do have a next-gen console, but a lot of my friends don't, so I can't play this game with a lot of my friends, which is really depressing. I'm always like, you know, you just can't play this game. But now we're gonna move on to multiplayer. Speaking of, so multiplayer, the way it works, the way you can play with friends. So there's PvP, right, which is smaller matches where you're playing only players v players. But the one you're normally gonna see is where you yourself get to control an entire squad and you get to switch between squad members, which is actually pretty cool because there's less players, so it's a bit less laggy. Whereas also it feels like there's more soldiers on the battlefield running around. But that means 1 out of every 5 soldiers you see is going to actually be a person playing. The rest is going to be AI. And I don't mind necessarily. Sort of like how Titanfall, the grunts running around. But I do wish they could have like PvP, massive PvP. But, you know, it just seems like since they're a smaller developer, that's what they're doing. And I really am glad that a smaller developer has taken a stab at making something like this, you know. Really cool that they're doing that. But also, we're going to move on to the next section. I just decided I'd add this just because, you know, my mom may watch a video. Family friendliness. So, how family friendly is this game? Now, I know somebody's probably going to be like, you're saying that video games are violent. No, I literally play the game. It just, you know, it's a really fun game. But I am saying I would recommend age of 12 and up because I know when I was 12, this wasn't going to faze me. But there is some gore. There's like, you know, stuff like that. It's a World War II game, and they're trying to add some serious amounts of realism. But it's not like extremely brutal, but it is really blood pumping and fun of a game, but it's intense at times. So just have that in mind. Another thing we're going to talk about is the vehicles. I personally really, really don't like controlling the tanks. I have yet to be able to fly a plane for some reason, because I just downloaded the game about 2 weeks ago. I have yet to figure out how to fly a plane. But I've played with the tanks. They're realistic as in how slow they are in real life, like how hard it is to just maneuver the top, like the gun on top. But the thing is that they're just really difficult to use. And I know they're really difficult in real life, but at the same time, it's a video game, so I hope they can like fix that and make it a bit easier for you to use the tanks. One thing also is that when you first get the game, it's going to have hypersensitivity on the movement. So I actually had to turn that down to like 0.6 because I'm slow. So I had to change that because I was like, oh no, this is like way too fast for me. I'm not that good at the game. I'm not that good at any game to do that. But yeah, my personal just overall review for it. It's a really, really fun game. I would recommend downloading it if you're into FPS games. It's just really fun. If you're into realistic war and combat and such, really fun game. Really good game, and it takes like barely any storage to download, and it looks fantastic. So if you got a next-gen console, if you got a PC, I would certainly recommend downloading this. And I'm sure there's plenty of other YouTubers who have made videos about this game, like Jack Frags and Teabag Gaming and stuff like that. So you might want to go check them out. They make good videos and stuff. So you know they're gonna be better at the game than I am. But this is just some gameplay recorded the other day, and I know I look kind of garbage because I had just gotten done playing some Battlefield 4, and then I switched to this. So that's kind of a dramatic jump there. But yeah, I might do some live streams with this game. You know, might make some more videos about it in the future. But I will say it's really good, so I would suggest downloading it. And thank you guys very much for watching. Peace. Just watch the rest of this gameplay if you like.